Welcome to the Cincy Postcast. I'm Kevin Wallace, and before we get started with today's episode, I want to tell you about our good friends over at Streetside Brewery who are hosting us this Sunday before the kickoff against Columbus Crew. FC Cincinnati is going to be in Columbus, and hey, if you're not going to be in Columbus, come on out to Streetside. We're going to get things started around 5-ish. We're going to lead you right on up to kickoff. We'll be predicting and previewing the game, which means in this episode that you're about to listen to, there is no preview. There is no prediction. We don't talk about game 2. That's going to happen at Streetside. So if you want to hear that conversation, you're going to come with us out to Streetside. You're going to enjoy some delicious beers, some friendly staff. There's great food there. It's an awesome spot. I think you're really, really, really going to enjoy it. So we hope to see you out there. Come on out. It's going to be a good time. There's going to be some giveaways. There's going to be some cool stuff happening. And afterwards we'll get to watch a game. And hopefully we'll get to watch this team wrap up the series against Columbus. So a huge thank you to Streetside for hosting us and for sponsoring this and so many other episodes of the Postcast. And on today's episode, this is a very, very fun episode. Part 1, we talk about the game. It feels like it happened forever ago, but we talk about the game, the Monday night victory over the Columbus Crew in Game 1 of Round 1 of the MLS Cup playoffs presented by Audi, as discussed by the Post Cincy. Beautiful. It's so much fun. Absolutely love this. Alvis Powell forever, for always. Then, in part 2, we got him, folks. Alec Kann is on the Postcast. We talk about his playing career, what he's looking for. Afterwards, it's going to be a really, really, really fun conversation. I think you really will enjoy that. In part 3, we wrap it up with listener questions with a great question about a spurned FC Cincinnati player 11 and an update on Foxy's Shazam. Put it all together and you've got yourselves a lovely little playoff postcast. Joining me to talk about all of that and more, I am joined by two gentlemen who are very happy to have been right in predicting victories on Monday. Joined by the Chief. I'm joined by Grayson. Grayson, it wasn't as many goals as you and I thought, but a victory's a victory, baby. That's just the story of the season.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of thought and a lot written about, how good is this FC Cincinnati team really? And the answer has been in front of our face the entire time. They are more often than not one goal better than their opponent. I think on the day, that's always good enough.
Yeah, I think you could have dropped this FC Cincinnati team in the Club World Cup and they would have won it. And they would have beat everybody by exactly one goal. They would not have looked good in all of it, but they would have won it.
Slaughtered on the XG, and people are like, how are they doing this? Surely this will catch up to them eventually. Not today. What do we say to the god of XG and XG differential? Not today.
Oh, man. No, incredible scenes in TQL Stadium on Monday night. Annoyingly, not quite a sellout. There's a couple thousand shy, I think, of an official sellout on that one.
Didn't sound like there were 1,000 people missing in that stadium. No. I'll tell you that from actually sitting there. Grayson asked for everyone to be brave. There were a lot of brave souls in that stadium with the way that the energy came from the crowd. And it takes a lot now for players and managers to point out that the crowd was cool, because that's just sort of the expectation at TQL Stadium at this point. A couple people went out of their way, players and coaches alike, to point out, it was rocking and rolling in there. And it makes a difference. It makes a difference when everyone's excited. And tell Mrs. Grayson hi, I just saw the wave. It makes a difference when there's not the nervous energy in the building. And there was up 1-0, not a lot of nervous energy in the building. And it helps when the team doesn't give you reason to be filled with nervous energy as well. But the crowd will say they understood the assignment. So job well done out there to the 12s and 12s adjacent who were filling up the stadium.
Yeah, no, it looked good. The orange out looked good on that one. And yeah, like the vibes were incredible all around the stadium. I'd agree with you, Chief. Like I ended up watching this one at home, and on TV, it is true. You can sort of feel the nervous energy even like through the broadcast, and that was not there all night. Like the Bailey, it was loud as hell. I will give credit to the Crew fans. They were making noise as well. I think it made for a great environment on TV. And I know this is sort of a dumb note, but I do think it matters. This is the best looking matchup in Major League Soccer. Like the contrasting colors, just genuinely, like it is visually really fun.
But you rolled your eyes too when they didn't come out wearing the whites after how successful they've been.
I was mad about that, to be clear. Two different thoughts in my mind, yes. As we discussed, this team is much better wearing the alternate kit, aka the road kit, the canvas kit. But no, it looked good visually. And I don't know, man. Like from jump, we got that lineup up, and I was like, "Oh shit, we're going for it."
Do we know ball? Because I feel like this is. I said it on the I said it on the show. I was like, I don't think Pat will do this, but this is what I would like to see the club do, and I think it looked really, really good. Even I didn't have Noonan being ballsy enough to go straight with Sammy Guidi in the midfield. But, if there's a consistent theme to this match, it's that, and, you can listen to the World's Gam. We touched a little bit on this in the interview that we did over there. But Columbus just didn't have their ability to play through the midfield with as much impunity.
Yeah.
And I think a large part of that is that you have someone who's a little more athletic at this stage in their careers in Sammy Guidi, who's a little more willing to press forward. And you've got on the outside, you've got two wing backs who are incredibly offensive minded and are a threat to get behind the defense at all times. I think by being aggressive in a strange sort of way, it helped the defense out for Pat Noonan.
Yeah. Yeah. Grayson, what'd you make of Guidi getting the start, and how do you rate how he played?
I mean, certainly good enough to see out the result. He played full 90, right?
He did.
Yeah. I thought that, I thought he had some bad giveaways.
He did.
And that could have turned into something, but, the center backs snuffed it out, or somebody, made a play repeatedly. So, but he did a lot of nice stuff too. And I think it's, young player. You see so much upside and so much ability with him.
Insane.
That I love the trust that Pat is showing with him to not pull him out, even though he had, several opportunities to do so. And even though I would have pulled him out, I was kind of waiting for him to come out in like the 60s.
Yeah.
And, Pat knows ball. And again, he must be a guy that's great in training, because Pat gives those guys a lot of leash.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is it wasn't just him either. You go all year and Teenage Hadabi can't see the field.
Yeah.
And Teenage Hadabi is, there's a line of thought out there that he was a liability. He was out of position too often, or for whatever reason, not in favor. Goes the full 90 in this game. And if you would have asked me 3 or 4 weeks ago, would you expect Teenage Adabi and Sammy Geedy to go the full 90 in a playoff game? My answer would be not one that we win.
Right. Something bad has happened.
But they both looked really good. Yeah, Geedy had a couple bad giveaways, but like the giveaways you'll take for the fact that he is insanely energetic in the midfield. The man is all up and down the field. And yeah,
he puts in a great tackle. Very disruptive.
Very.
He's got that athleticism that allows him to cover a lot of ground, allows him to be strong. The age is crazy.
Yeah.
Like a real 21, like a 2004 birth year.
Yes.
And crazy. To play that position.
Yeah. Fully saying 6'7" unironically.
Yeah.
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 You know, I got to give credit to Adam from You Ain't Lying, who I saw this take on from Twitter, and that's that one of the big differences in this game, and in many ways we focus a lot on Wilfred Nancy versus Pat Noonan, but it's also Albright versus Tall, and one of these two teams added starters throughout their roster at the window. And you look on the field for FC Cincinnati, Ender Echenike, summer window edition, starts, goes the full 90 in this game, or close to the full 90 in this game. Sammy Geedy starts, goes the full 90 in this game. Brenner starts, damn near goes the full 90 in this game, is a very late substitution in this game. That is 3 impact players that were added by Chris Albright at the transfer window deadline. 3 players all occupying, or, Brenner used to be a DP, 2 U22. So basically a DP and 2 U22s they bring in, and they are all significant minute contributors and playing at a high level, versus Crew, where their big summer edition isn't available, and they did not get better the way FC Cincinnati did at the summer window. And that's huge in this game, and that's huge for making a playoff run, is getting those players that put a good roster over the top, and players that can contribute meaningful minutes and make your roster deeper for a cup run.
Yeah, it's incredible to see the difference of the two, and it really speaks to, one, the job that Tim Bezpachenko is doing in Columbus, and maybe they will be taking a step back with Eastertal. I know a lot of Crew fans were ready to run him out of town after this game, where a lot of the blame was placed on his shoulders.
That was crazy. That was crazy, because like everybody thinks, not everybody, but like everybody thinks the Crew, or everybody was going to the series thinking the Crew were going to win it. And I don't mean like us or like our fan base, but I mean, if you look at the national media,
the predictions
they were picking for the series, most of them were picking Columbus to win this series. So then,
still may, for that matter.
Sure, still may, but you can't go after one game and it's the exact same team after one game. Be like, oh, Istatal just didn't do a good job. Yeah, the players somewhere between the starting and ending whistles of the game on Monday, all the Crew's roster build became bad.
Yeah.
And that's not to discredit the point that Chief was just calling out, because I think there's a lot of truth to it,
Yeah.
I mean, it is right, certainly from our standpoint, of the fact that we did bring in 3 starters in the summer window. And that was something that they haven't always done. And certainly, like, I know last year they were looking at, last year they had to do the center backs, right?
Yeah.
Like they had to figure out the center back situation. But the big story of the 2024 transfer window was missing on the big swing at particularly the striker position, but also the whole Weston McKennie saga.
Yeah.
And we were asking after the window, okay, you missed on the big striker. Why don't we have any midfield depth? Like, why didn't we get midfield depth.
Where are the U22s?
Where are the U22s, right? And he did that this window, and the Crew, again, if you forget this is underselling it, right? But if you forget about the fact that we were also replacing center backs, the Crew did the thing that had our 2024 window worked out, we would have done, right?
Yeah.
Which is make the big splash number 9 signing that everybody thinks you need.
It's
right?
the missing piece.
That is,
right.
Everyone agrees this is the missing piece of this roster. And yeah, he's injured, but it just goes to show how valuable it can be to not forget about those kind of less flashy starting positions, those depth positions that are nevertheless players that you can start or that you do trust to come in and not drop a lot of quality from the starter.
Right.
Yeah.
They're your high upside youth players where you look on the field and it's like, yeah, Sammy Guidi is probably the future for this club at midfield over the next couple of years. He's also the present right now because he's really, really good. Ender Echenike is the future for this club at wingback. He's also the present because his speed is an absolute problem for teams that are just completely unable to, number one, stay up with him, and number two, see where he's going at any given time.
Right.
Yeah, Ender for me feels like a guy who could stick around. Guidi might get some eyeballs within the next year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the raw potential there is we said it when he got signed that like Guidi is genuinely someone who I when we signed him, I think we were all in agreement. We are that's Giddy for Guidi because of the tools that he brings.
Yeah.
And I was hoping he would show them this quickly. I am pleasantly surprised by how fast both he and Ender have shown the ability to play and acquit themselves in meaningful MLS matches. I think that's rad. And I agree with Grayson. I think the sky is absolutely the limit for Sammy Guidi.
And he's already on European scout radars. He's already played in Europe. He's got a European passport. Like, he's a player that's going to be known. And I think he's got a package of skills that a lot of teams and a lot of leagues are going to be interested in. Ender, he's got game-changing speed.
Yep.
And I think MLS, more than a lot of leagues, is a league where if you have like one game-changing ability, you're going to have a job for a long time. I don't know. I think he's got more to grow. With his passing and with his end product,
And with the point you made about the passport is huge, though. I don't think we respect that enough about, especially for players that aren't. Ender is starting to get called in for national team duty.
Yep.
We can talk about it at length at some point in the future if people are interested. But there's a point system for getting a visa in a lot of different places over in Europe, and certain areas of Europe are easier to get your work visa. But with the fact that Guidi already has Slovak, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, he's already got Slovak citizenship now and a Slovak passport. The pathway back to Europe for him is exponentially easier than it would be for just about anybody else.
And he's playing in these European youth competitions when he goes over there. Like he's going to get a lot of eyeballs. And
absolutely.
I don't want him to go. Future us problems.
Future us problems.
Right now, I really like what he's going to give us for this playoff run.
Yeah. So I'm really interested in the Guidi start. We see later in the game, 82nd minute, Obi subs in for Echenike and they move Buka to right wing back. I guess my question is Guidi starting this because Wobodo was not fully fit to go the full 90?
I don't know that's the case. I think it was I think it's a tactical decision that they've obviously self-scouted in terms of what has gone wrong in previous matches versus the Crew. Mm-hmm. And it's the problems have started in the midfield. And I just think that they liked, I assume that they liked what Guidi, his ability, number one is athleticism. like incredible athleticism. I think they just like the coverage that he provides in the midfield and his willingness to attempt to make the advancing pass that breaks through Columbus's pressure or that immediately springs a counterattack when Columbus is in possession. I think they like that vision a little bit more. And not for nothing, I think that you're going ultra aggro with a Kubo, Gidi, Ender, like three sort of like who are the changeable positions on this team.
Right.
That's pretty aggro. And it feels like you're either going to go all or nothing. That like you sort of by pulling back in one of those spots, you're wasting the synergy that you get just from by being so front footed offensively.
Yeah, you just haven't fully committed to the bit, as it were, right?
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And you both mentioned him, Hadebe getting the start here. The back line played really well. The recoveries are great. In fact, Fatmob had Hadebe as the highest rated center back for FC Cincinnati. Not really trying to look ahead to the next game, but let's say there's a world where Miazga and Angle are available. Is there any reason to change this up? I feel like you got to ride the hot hand.
I think you ride the hot hand. The only reason you would change it up is if you think that like, okay, like I'm in a chess match with Wilfred Nancy and it's like the Borg, he's adapted to this particular line of attack or line of defense.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I mean, none of those guys come in. Like, I can't imagine if Angle wasn't available at all for selection. I can't imagine he's match fit to play a full 90. Maybe it would be different if Abu Ali was fit.
That's interesting.
And there was a speed issue that you were worried about somewhere. But with Rossi coming back from injury and clearly not looking the same as like what we've expected Diego Rossi to look like. Maybe he looks better with another week of training in the weekend match at home. But with Rossi sort of at 80%, 70% and Abu Ali not playing, I think it enables you to stick with this back line and not have to worry about, speed going over the top and getting behind you because, I thought Haglund, MLS Comeback Player of the Year. Congratulations.
Yes.
Our boy Nick. That's a form of the postcast bump right there. He just won a major national award.
I think we get to claim that for sure.
I think we do. All three members of the back line I thought played very, very well in this game. And I don't see a reason to change it. I feel like changing it, you would be changing it for the sake of changing it.
Yeah.
I am more curious if they stick with Kubo and Ender as the wingbacks.
Yeah.
Just because it sounds like based on the broadcast that Luka was not at even like 5 minutes match fit. He was take a PK level of fit.
Yeah.
So maybe if Luka was feeling better or he was more fit, maybe there would be a question. But I get the sense you run this entire thing back and just do it again.
Yeah. I don't know where you would tinker a little bit there unless, somebody picks up an injury between now and then. But yeah, I thought Echenique did an incredible job in this game. And then when you look up top, Denke and Brenner, I think both had generally good games. But if you had to judge their partnership, I think the partnership gets a thumbs down, Grayson. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Maybe referred to counseling, couples counseling.
I wouldn't have blamed Denke for holding onto the ball a lot throughout the season.
Yeah.
But there were some times where if he just plays a ball forward and over early, Brenner's got a clear path to goal.
Yeah. And he makes those. It's not like you're passing to, God love him. You're not passing to Corey Baird here. You're passing to a dude who has shown an aptitude for collecting the ball on the run and finishing cleanly.
Yeah. So I think, they need to figure that out, because if those guys can get a connection, this team is this team is going to be in a real nice spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is funny that the two of them, I think in a vacuum, you would say they both had good games. But yeah, once you're looking at maybe how they were working together.
Maybe you just get them a room together and
Yeah.
they just have to live for a couple of days between now and the next game and just sort of, learn a little bit about one another.
They got to do training in like a giant T-shirt together, right?
Or they have like one hand tied together and they just have to.
Maybe let Brenner lose to Denke in chess a couple of times.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah.
Maybe they can go shopping for glasses or something like that.
Aw.
I bet Denke would look dapper in a nice pair of specs.
Ooh. I like that.
Brenner
play.
gets the prescription glasses. Denke gets the style glasses.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, just something. Just build a little camaraderie.
The Chief, I guess my other question is very easy question, but I think it's hard to answer. Did Evander have a good game?
Yeah, by definition, they won a playoff game against the team that they have struggled
Fair enough.
historically with. Yeah, I thought Evander had a good game. I thought Evander had a quiet game.
Mm-hmm.
But like there was nothing about it that stood out as bad. And I mean, that's what is the build and what is like the win scenario for this FC Cincinnati team? It's that you can't take all of them away.
Yeah.
And if you want to try and shut down Evander, I mean, cool, but there's other guys in this team that can beat you. Evander didn't have the flash moments that I think we're used to from him.
Yeah.
But he also played under control. He didn't have any bad giveaways. And, I appreciated the willingness to engage a little more extensively in the pressure, which Evander has had a complex relationship with some of his out of possession defensive responsibilities. So
Yeah.
I liked that from him in this game.
He loves trying for Olympicos.
He does. I wish he would stop because we do have people that can jump.
We got big, giant players.
And we've got some poachers that are like really good with the ball at their feet. So I would, if I have a critique of Evander, it's put the ball in the mixer a little bit and let's see what happens, because he's very accurate with his free kicks. I just need the aim to be a little closer to where people are as opposed to where he thinks the net is.
Yes. I also think, too, there were a number of times where I was getting like Lucho flashbacks where he was trying to take like 3 or 4 guys on. And there would just always be one more guy that he could beat. It was
Ran out of talent.
Yeah, just a little frustrating. Where it's like, man, you could just pass it to Kubo. Like that would also work.
So there's another player we got to talk about here a little bit.
Alvis Powell.
Alvis Powell.
Yeah, Chief, would you like to issue an official apology to one Elvis Powell?
I'll tell you what, man. It's Mr. Powell's wild ride, and we've got the magic pass and we've scanned directly on to keep going. I have come to appreciate, and I've come to I need to I know this in moments. I forget this while watching games.
Yeah.
That like on an Xbox or like a PlayStation, like on a PlayStation, there's, the square button, the circle button, the triangle, and the X button on there.
Yes.
On Alvis Powell's PlayStation, there's a 5th button that's the Alvis button.
Hell yeah.
And when you press the Alvis button, you're not really sure what's going to happen next. But something is going to happen. And there are games Alvis plays where Alvis is very content to just not press the Alvis button. He presses it every so often.
Yeah.
On this one, he came into the game and he was like, we're spamming the Alvis button over and over again until something happens. And Mr. Powell's wild ride, man.
It worked. It worked. On the goal, it is Powell who gets the assist, fires it into the path and the feet of Kevin Denke. He said after the game he was trying to shoot. Maybe keep that one to yourself there, pal. But I think he was incredible in this game. Like, he stepped up in this moment. He has the most playoff experience of anybody on this team, which I was shocked to learn that he has more playoff appearances than Kai Kamara. That seems insane. But
that seems made up. That seems absolutely wrong.
But he made MLS Cup with Portland. He made runs with Philly and Miami previously, and then he's been with us for all of our playoff runs. So, look at him go. But yeah, playing on the left side, which I think is very interesting here. Deciding not to, not putting him in on the right side, putting him in on the left, which I don't think we've ever seen. I think he's played as the left-sided center back once, but to put him in at the left wing back, I thought was super interesting, and it worked out really well. Like, his sort of like YOLO mentality works out for cutting in.
What's more chaos than putting a chaos agent in a spot he's never played before? Like, you already don't know what's happening with Alvis Powell on the field. But if it's in a position you've never even seen him play before, at that point, I don't even think Alvis knows what's about to happen. And if Alvis doesn't know what's about to happen, you damn sure defending him don't know what's about to happen.
So in chess, so many of the openings and positions are very well known, famous positions and openings, that when you sort of fall into a pattern like this, you're following book, you're on book. And when you do something insane, like you sacrifice your queen, in a moment
you're
that you shouldn't,
Alvis.
you are off book. And Alvis plays off book. And when you put him on the left side there, Wilfried Nancy, the tactical genius, just has no counter for something that the world has never seen before.
Like, I used to be really good at online poker back when that was a thing. Really good. But then I couldn't, I had a difficult time playing at casinos because inevitably when we would go, you'd sit down at a table with like a bachelor party where everyone is hammered.
Yes.
And it's chaos energy. You have no idea. You have no idea what people are doing online. Everyone would, like, they've got their guides with them, and it's very easy to figure out what happens next. All of a sudden you find yourself at the Greektown Casino in Detroit, and someone's going all in on Jack 4 off suited. And I don't know what to do with this. And it's ruining my good time. That is Alvis Powell. Alvis Powell is perpetually the guy, I'm pushing all in on this hand. Dealer's showing a 3 and I've got 18, hit me. I'm feeling dangerous. That's just Alvis Powell life right there.
Yeah.
And if you aren't committed to it, get the fuck out.
I absolutely loved the entire experience there. We got to give a shout out to Roman Celentano, save of the year winner, Roman Celentano. Pretty exciting. Second time he's won that now. And very, very impressive game. The one thing, though, that got me off guard, and I don't know if you guys have a better explanation for this, on the Arfston shot that hits him in the chest, why did he not use his hands? What was the thought there? Like, I don't know what's happening.
Just doing his Superman thing.
Maybe just being big. I don't know.
Yeah, be big, right? I mean, that is the advice usually given in that moment. I just thought it was weird that, like, it doesn't even look like his hands are even considered in that moment.
Did you ever, when you were growing up, did you ever watch the old Superman TV show, the black and white one from back in the 60s?
No, I somehow missed that one. Yeah.
Yeah. It was always a thing that I noticed growing up, was that, like, there would inevitably be a scene where Superman is just standing there doing the Superman pose, taking bullets to the chest as, like, the hoodlums or whatever are shooting at him.
Yeah.
But then when they run out of bullets and they throw the gun at him, he ducks.
I've seen some adults, I guess, for lack of a better term, sharing like footage
Not
of the
on
new
this show.
of the new Superman versus the Zack Snyder Superman, and like throwing a fit about like relative power levels of them, or like inconsistent power levels or whatever. And I did watch a little bit of the black and white one when I was a very small kid, but I didn't like it because I also watched the animated Superman, and I just thought that the black and white one wasn't I felt like he wasn't like powerful enough.
Yeah.
No.
Like they didn't show him as being like as powerful enough as you'd expect Superman to be. So like when I was like 8, I would have been a huge fan of like, I would have had strong feelings about the Snyder cut and restoring the Snyder universe.
And for that reason, Roman Celentano stood there and took that shot to the chest because, damn it, he's never going to be accused of not having as many superpowers as Evan Lauro.
On a similar note, I am familiar with this, though, Chief. And if you have not seen this, required homework for you. That original Superman TV show did a very bizarre 1-episode crossover with I Love Lucy, which you should go check out.
I gotta find this now.
It's very weird because it's not exactly clear if it is Superman who has crossed over or the actor who plays Superman. Very fun. Very fun.
Is it Clark Kent?
Is this like when the transporter shows up at the beginning of the movie Collateral?
No.
When Jason Statham like either takes a case from or hands Tom Cruise a case.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Forgot about that.
Collateral's a great movie, by
We
the way.
need more crossovers.
Super underrated.
I think we
really
need more
do.
crossover episodes. We did just get the Abbott Elementary Always Sunny crossover. That's fun.
I'm always down for a good crossover. That's like a dying feature of network television where like all of a sudden the Law and Order cast will show up on like, what was one down in Baltimore? Homicide, Life on the Street.
Well, that actually happened in reverse. Richard Belzer was
the same character, right?
He was on Homicide, and then he crossed over to Law and Order as the same character, which he also played on the X-Files and The Simpsons.
That's right. He's used the same name across all of them, right?
It's the exact same character.
Yeah.
So The Simpsons takes place in the same universe as Law and Order and the X-Files.
Oh,
and The Wire, because I think there's a couple of Homicide crossovers onto The Wire because they're both David Simon.
Oh, that's funny. That would make sense. Chief, you would know this. There's an old 70s TV show where the theory goes that every television show in existence...
It comes from St. Elsewhere.
St. Elsewhere. That's it.
The theory is that or at least a lot of TV shows take place in the mind of a small child with some kind of neurodivergent state that I'm not going to diagnose. Because it's the show St. Elsewhere appears, it's revealed at the end of the season that it all took place in this child's mind.
Right.
And there were a bunch of crossovers with St. Elsewhere that you can then span out. That's
right. That's
if
right.
you like do this crossover with this show, and this show also crossed over with that show. And it's like hundreds of shows.
Yes.
God, I can't remember what this thing is called.
And isn't it specifically like in the snow globe of the child? It's something like that.
Yeah, the hospital is in the snow globe
That's
in the child's room. If I were, you want to talk about an ending to a show that just like made people lose their minds with anger? Like, yeah. Beyond it was all just a dream. It was all just a dream in this other person that's unrelated's head.
It's the Tommy Westfall multiverse.
That's
so it includes shows like 24, The Addams Family, The George Reeves Superman, Alias, American Horror Story, The Americans.
Wow. 24 and The Americans in the same
Battlestar
universe.
Galactica.
Another super underrated show.
Better Call Saul, which also means Breaking Bad, although I'm not there yet. Let's see if The Shield is on.
It's funny that that Better Call Saul would be in it, but not Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how it divorced itself, but
It appears that The Shield is not on the list.
oh,
that's unfortunate.
Damn.
Michael
But all the
Chiklis
Star Treks
cries.
Oh man!
See,
I
this
bet
is why
that's
I
a
would
fun
be. I would be.
Wikipedia page.
I would be bad at running a TV show because I would do this all the time. Like, just call up an actor and be like, "Hey, I just need you in the background of this episode, doing the thing that was your character from this other show."
Yeah.
Which is what they did for Abed when he showed up on Cougar Town. From,
That is a great little moment.
from Community.
Do I have it right that all Tarantino films take place in the same universe? Is that
Yeah, because they all have
Yeah.
Red Apple.
The Red Apple cigarettes.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. And very, very, very thin connections. Like there's like somebody's tombstone is in another movie and stuff like that.
And I think
like,
that the God, what's the Michael Madsen?
Michael Madsen from
Character.
Kill Bill.
No, so his character in Reservoir Dogs
yes,
is the brother of John Travolta's character in Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. Man, fun. Anyway, I think what we're trying to say is Elvis Powell was very good.
Yes.
Long story
I would build a
short.
multiverse around Elvis Powell. I would make a show with whatever is in his brain.
I mean, there is kind of an Elvis Powell cinematic universe between his play on the field, him showing up randomly at the Kenwood Mall for that I Show Speed
Yes.
trip. Like, we're starting to see the beginnings here of this.
That means Elvis Powell takes place in the same universe as Cristiano Ronaldo.
What? That's tough to comprehend.
Yeah.
Can we get Elvis Powell in a Foxy Shazam video, an updated video for Unstoppable as the new FC Cincinnati anthem? And then he also appears in the next season of The Peacemaker in whatever song they pick for season 3 from Foxy Shazam. And then you can start to, now we have the DC universe crossing over with the FC Cincinnati cinematic universe.
I like this. By the way, stay tuned to part 3 on Foxy Shazam. I have news. So, is there anybody else or anything else that we need to talk about with this game? I mean, it's a hell of a game. It feels weird that like we're a couple of days out. The game's going to happen again.
Well, you said that Dotto didn't get into the game.
No, because at this point it was a victory and therefore I'm happy, right?
All decisions were correct.
Yes. Yeah. If we lost and Data didn't get in, obviously that's why we lost. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
No, good win.
Yeah.
You know, I think I predicted 1-0, I think.
I think you did too.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
They left it late. But you know, we'll talk more about it at Street Side. Come on out. We're going to get the party started around 5 and kickoffs around 6:30 there. We'll do the proper preview then of the Sunday game. So we have that to look forward to. But yeah, I think that's it for this game. Oh, I'll throw this out there just real quick. Pat Noonan, this might have been his best game. Definitely of the year. Maybe all time. Like, got every strategic moment and sub and lineup decision and personnel decision exactly right, especially on some coin flip calls. And I think they all panned out. Trusting Hidebe, Echenike to start to punish Arston, Kubo, Gidi. These were big moments.
Yeah, he had decisions. It helps that, you know, this is the first time, like we talked about last week, this is the first time in a while where he's gone into one of these situations, you know, playing mostly a full deck.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
with these kind of options available to him. And, you know, we said having a healthy Yu Kubo out back makes a huge difference. Well, that gives him an option here. Having, you know, Gidi, and now your first option off the bench is Obi. Like, it's depth matters, and giving these choices matters, and it allows you to play matchups instead of just running your best 11 out and hoping for the best.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So with that, we'll put game 1 to rest here. We'll head on over to part 2.
We'll chalk that one up to the FC.
Yeah, I think we
give
can
him,
go ahead and
give him the dub on that.
give them all 3 points.
Yeah, I think they deserve it. Let them have all three.
Yeah. Won the XG battle, folks. I feel like that bears mentioning here.
You know who's talking about that? Nick Hagland.
Nick Hagland is thrilled at that news. Him and Matt Doyle.
We said the playoffs are a brand new season, and as of right now, FC Cincinnati performing to metrics.
Yes, exactly what they say on the tin. So let's head on over to part 2. Great conversation with the one and only Alec Kann. So happy to finally have him on the show. I think it's a great conversation, especially what he's thinking about post-playing career. We come back, we got a couple of Patreon questions, and we'll get you out of here. Joining us here on the Postcast, an incredibly special guest for us. In a lot of ways, it feels like Thanos sort of completing the Infinity Gauntlet. We have officially gotten through the goalkeeper room at FC Cincinnati. Now we are joined by the one and only Alec Kann. Alec, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show, guys. I appreciate it.
I was waiting for the introduction, just because I think that you have been called in equal parts Alec Kann and Alec Kann over the course of this show's history. And also, there's a proud tradition of Kevin being completely incapable of pronouncing Evan Loro's name correctly, which is...
That's hard to do.
None of us try to correct him at this point.
You wouldn't think it'd be hard, but yet here we are.
Hey, you nailed mine. And if you want to get like the facts from the mouth of the horse, like it is Kann. But there are people in my family that still go by Khan. They were German immigrants during the Holocaust and came over here, and most of them wanted to change their name so that they weren't as like outwardly German. But I still have some extended family that goes by Khan. So I prefer Kann, but like I'll go by Khan as well. I mean, it's fine with me.
Wow. Okay, that is good to know.
And it's kind of like goalkeeping royalty as well. So I'll take it.
It's true.
I was also going to say too that like the goalkeeper's room, it feels from the outside looking in, is the vibe center of what makes a soccer team go. And I can't think of anything more vibe than just pronounce it however you want. We'll figure it out later down the
road. Yeah, I would like to think that we bring some solid vibes to the team. I mean, Evan is the quintessential vibes guy. I can't touch him with that, but I'd like to think I bring a different kind of vibe. Yeah, we're all different personalities, but I'm sure we'll get into this at some point. But like we've been together for going on almost 4 years now, which is amazing. I can't think of any team in the league that's ever had that kind of run with the same group of goalkeepers. So I think it says a lot about the coaching staff and also the group of players that we have.
That's an interesting thing that you brought up, and it was definitely something I wanted to talk about. It is rare in MLS to have this level of continuity with your teammates and with your position group. Specifically, what is different about having to share the same room with the same guys for this long? And how have you managed not to fight and kill one another at this point?
Look, I would love to say that it's all been, sunshine and rainbows. There have been some tense moments for sure, but we're all competitors. We're pros. We all want to be on the field. And if we didn't, we shouldn't be playing. So, but that's not to say that, when Roman's playing, when Evan's playing, when I'm playing, when Paul's playing, like we feel fully supported by the rest of the group. Like, do we necessarily we all think that we should be playing, but we don't make those decisions. So at the end of the day, like all we can do is prepare the guy that's going to play, knowing that, he's a good person that does things for the right reasons. And, they're easy guys to root for. So between that and also like playing for Paul Rogers has been an amazing experience. I said it in an interview the other day, like, I wonder what my career could have been like if I had him 10 years ago, as opposed to 4 years ago. But it's made it easier for me to stomach some of the times when I've been here and haven't had many opportunities to play, because I've, continued to improve as a goalkeeper. And if I'm not playing and I'm not getting better, then I want to get out. But if I'm not playing and I'm still in an environment where I'm pushed and can improve and there's a plan for me, that goes such a long way. And I think, I can speak for the other guys that they probably feel similarly. Like we're in a growth environment where we're challenged and there's a plan for each and every one of us, which it might not necessarily be the case in most clubs, especially with goalkeepers, because usually it's the starter who, most of the focus is on, and then the other goalkeepers are, afterthoughts in some ways, but that's never how it's felt here. And that goes a long way for someone like myself.
Yeah, that Paul Rogers' name has come up quite a bit here in terms of, people that have looked to, especially the defense with the goalkeeping success in particular. It feels like virtually anybody that has been plugged in to that role has been successful for this FC Cincinnati team. You brought it up there with him sort of spreading the attention around across the entire goalkeeping group. But what about Paul Rogers sort of separates him from other goalkeeping coaches that you've had in the past? Because we've only heard like universal praise, and we've asked I think it was Evan before, like, what is a goalkeeper coach doing for you at this point in your career? You're established, you should know how to be a goalkeeper at this point. And he said no, continuing to learn. So I'm very interested in what Paul Rogers is like as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, for me, he changed a lot of habits that I had when I came in that I didn't even know were bad habits that I had developed over the years. And he's got a clear vision for what he wants in his goalkeepers, and the expectations are crystal clear from the moment you step in the door as a goalkeeper at the club, like what's expected in terms of the way that you train and the way that you handle yourself, and then the way that you play when you get opportunities. So I love that. He's a great communicator, which goes a long way for me. Just knowing what your role is, if you're going to play, if you're not going to play, well in advance, so you can, prepare yourself mentally for what it's going to take. He's a great coach. I'd like to think over the course of the past couple of years, I've developed a relationship with him, seeing more of the coaching side as well, and the way that he started to develop some of these younger guys that we have, like, I mean, Roman especially, but Nate, Crockford, and Paul, like seeing the way that he has taken them from being, projects, raw goalkeepers that aren't necessarily as polished as they need to be to, play a 20 game stretch without mistakes. And turned each of them into, top young goalkeepers. So it'll be interesting to see, like, once the door shuts on me, what happens here long term with goalkeepers, because we've got some good talent in the room, and everyone's ready to play when our name is called.
I'm kind of curious about this idea too, that you have been with FC Cincinnati since 2022. You were one of the first signings that were brought on in the transition from the previous regime that we don't talk about and we'd all like to forget, to the Chris Albright era, where it has been significantly more fun to be an FC Cincinnati fan. And one of the hallmarks of this has been the defensive responsibilities and the defensive shape. What is it about the FC Cincinnati defense, and what is it that the goalkeepers contribute to that makes this defense so effective that we've seen basically the entire time since Pat Noonan has been a coach?
Yeah, I think even beyond that, I think on a more like, granular level, like the culture has shifted completely in terms of going from, I don't want to beat around the bush, like a losing culture, to one where winning is the expectation. And when I came here, obviously I wanted to come in and be the guy, but more than anything, Chris was like, I want you to come in here and help change the culture. Me, guys like Ray Gaddis, Dom Baji, like some of the free agents that he brought in that have been around the league that are good guys. Whether we're playing or not, we're going to perform well in training. We're going to put our arm around the younger guys when they need it, kick them in the butt when they need a little extra push. So I think that's really where it started, is just getting everyone aligned in terms of what the expectations are, how to handle yourself when you come in the building every day, how to handle yourself when you're on the field in training, and then, what it takes to be an FCC player, and that opportunities are not given, they're earned. So I think beyond like any of the X's and O's, I think it's just been a huge cultural shift. And I'm really proud to have been a part of that, because I really didn't know what I was getting myself into when I came here, especially after, my debut, getting like pumped by Austin. I was like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? But to, dig ourselves out of that hole, and, a bit of a hole from the first 3 years, and get to where we're at now, where like the playoffs are the bare minimum expectation, which is, there's not many teams in the league that can say that. And hopefully now we can crack on and raise another trophy at the end of the year.
Yeah. I want to go back to to the beginning. So I have an ulterior motive for this, but you're from the Atlanta metro area, and I'm curious, like, one, what the soccer culture was like then, and two, at what point do you decide goalkeeper is where you're at? Is this a case of you just love the sport and goalkeeper is, what you found? Or did you come from another sport? I'm always curious about that journey.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like youth soccer in Atlanta has always been very vibrant, very diverse ethnically. Like, I played with guys from all over the world when I was a kid at my local youth club. And I think that, the supporters and the support that they've had over the years is a reflection of that. Obviously, the last couple of years have been rough for them, and the supporters have kind of, disappeared in some ways. But yeah, growing up there, like, there's a huge youth soccer culture. They're always churning out elite talent. Like, I even look at like the goalkeepers from my year and a year behind me. There was like 5 of us who ended up having long MLS careers, and we all trained together when we were young. So it was an environment where you were challenged as a young player. But this is before, any of the academies were around, or MLS Next, or anything like that. So it was like, you play for your local club team, you play high school soccer, and then most guys go to college. Whereas now the top young players are going directly to the pros. But to answer your question about goalkeeping, it was a little bit of like a war of attrition. I think I was around like 13 years old, and I played for a good club team at the time, but we didn't have a goalkeeper. Like, everywhere else on the field, we were kind of set. But no one really wanted to take the responsibility of being the goalie. So everyone got, a little tryout in goal in games, and you'd get a half here and there. And I guess I had a bit of a knack for it, and I wasn't getting any faster or quicker in terms of like my speed over distance. So I realized probably around, 14 or 15 that goalkeeper was probably, the best chance I had to have a long career. And for me, that was playing in college. But at the same time, like, I always tried to stay involved as much as I could with the field players. And if there's like a lesson that I give to young goalkeepers all the time, it's like, expect yourself to be able to do everything that the field players can do with the ball at their feet. Because if you're not able to do it now, you can't expect yourself to be able to do it in 10 years when you're playing in college or professionally. So hold yourself to that high standard. And I'm glad that I did, because I think that it's made me a much more versatile goalkeeper. I'm able to play in multiple different systems, play for a team that builds out of the back, one that plays a little bit more direct. And I think a lot of that's down to the coaching that I've had as a pro, but also my upbringing and just being asked to do what the field players are doing. And I credit my youth coaches as well for recognizing that early on.
At what point when you become a goalkeeper? So like, that's an interesting story. It wasn't something you wanted. It was something that you sort of fell into through not so much circumstances, but just opportunities that were made available to you. At what point in your head then did you shift from, okay, I am a field player where my goal is to do incredible things on the field, to being a goalkeeper, which I always think is interesting, that like, you're there specifically to ruin someone's day, that you're there to snatch dreams from people, that they think they're going to be, the highlights going to be on ESPN Sports Center. They're going to have like, gifts that live in infamy. And it's like, nope, I'm here to stop that for you. At what point did your headspace shift from one to the other? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I don't have like a definitive like date or an age, but I think like late high school, I realized that, I could be dominant in that position. And it was pretty cool to be able to like, just not let people score and have the ability to prevent that. Yeah. And like, I remember as I was a senior in high school, I'd already committed to college. I wanted to continue to work on like my fitness and my ability with my feet. So we had another stud young goalkeeper at my high school, and he played in goal and I played on the field. And if our games went to penalties, I would hop in goal. So like, I was still kind of dipping my feet into playing on the field. Even in college, I tried to do like the rondos and the passing patterns and all of that stuff with the field players as much as I could. But, once you're in the goal and you got the gloves on, you can kind of flip that switch. But yeah, I think around like 16 or so, I was like, all right, full-time goalkeeping is what's going to get me to the next level. And, I'm so fortunate that, my parents not only had the means, but had the drive and like the sacrifice to, take me to private trainings, to take me to small group goalkeeper training, to take me to ODP, driving me all over the state of Georgia and all over the Southeast, to make this dream possible. And without them, I doubt that I would be here today.
Oh, I'm so glad that was perfect, because I have an 8-year-old daughter who is loving soccer, but is really drawn to goalkeeping. And I'm not sure if I want to push her out of the goal and keep her in the field as long as possible, or embrace the goalkeeper life early, right? Like get in there early and stake your claim on that. But I think that is great advice. And you just touched on something that I had written down here I wanted to ask you about. So I will just jump to it now. The idea has been floated of potentially especially this bizarre MLS playoff series setup format where penalties are maybe more likely than not. We have seen just statistically that we have one goalkeeper is great out in the field, and we have another goalkeeper who might be a little bit better specifically at penalties. How do you feel as a sort of general philosophy of having a penalty specialist on the bench subbed in moments before the penalty shootout? Or do you just ride the hand that got you there?
And I don't know, maybe I'm just like old school in this, but like, I just think about myself if I was in that position, and like to play a whole game and to get your team to penalties and then have someone else come in and like take your one opportunity for glory. That wouldn't sit well with me. I'd probably be pretty pissed off if that happened. And at the same time, like I wouldn't want to necessarily do that to someone else.
Right.
But I mean, I remember, I think it was Netherlands in a couple World Cups ago did that with Tim Krul, and it worked for them for a couple games. But I don't know. I feel like it creates kind of a weird dynamic. I don't know if I, as a goalkeeper, would want to be labeled as like a penalty kick specialist. I just like to be a good goalkeeper and then one who can also save penalties. So it's kind of a weird trend. And yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying. Like I could see how it moves in that direction with like Leagues Cup, very penalty based. MLS Cup playoffs go straight to penalties now. And it's just becoming much more likely that you're going to play in, 4 to 10 penalty shootouts every season.
Yeah.
I just think that it has the opportunity, regardless of whether or not it's good for the keeper's mental health, which, probably I would hate to be in that position, but just the idea of that it gives MLS or soccer the same visual of the manager going to the mound in a baseball game and the pitcher arguing to stay in, like Scherzer the other night in the playoffs screaming at his manager to go away. I'm staying in this game for a little bit more. Like there should be something, if they're going to do that, where you have to walk out and he has to take the gloves off angrily and hand them to the manager, and they call from the bullpen to get the next goalkeeper in. That might be electric television, if nothing else.
Hey, yeah, that would be as American as it gets. Yeah.
I think we have to build like a goalkeeping like bullpen, right? So you have the subs are warming up by just taking penalties on the specialist. So.
Just throw us in a cage and under the stadium somewhere and let us get going. Yeah.
Come on, then we can sell like premium seats to watch this. Come on, we're thinking big picture here.
You get somebody in there whose only job is to just pepper you with shots down in the cage, or get the machine, just the jugs machine shooting balls right at you.
We've got plenty of guys that would be happy to do that.
Oh God, who on the team takes the hardest shot then? Like who has maybe left a literal mark on you in training?
Man, I've gotten hit in the face by most of the attacking players on the team. The one that probably hurts the most, Brandon got me really good a couple years ago, back when I played for Atlanta, and like somehow didn't knock me out, but he can smash a ball from close range. Like Brenner, great technique. But he's more of he'll pick a spot in the corner. He's not just smashing it straight at you.
Yeah.
Dinky's gotten me a couple times in the head, and he can hammer the ball as well. Jabari always, is aiming for our heads in training, which I don't appreciate all the time. But yeah, we have a lot of guys that can smash it. But yeah, one of those guys, Brenner, Jabari, Kevin, Evander would never hit us in the face with a ball, even though he can smack it, just because he puts it exactly where he wants to. And he probably doesn't want to put it anywhere near us.
Is Jabari trying to knock people off the senior roster so that his loan option gets exercised? Is that what's going on there?
Man, that would be next level. I don't know if he's thinking that far ahead, but if he is, fair play to him.
So we recently had the announcement that you are in fact retiring and that you're going to be transitioning towards coaching. My first question to you is, number one, when did you make the decision that you wanted to stay in the game and get more involved in coaching after your playing career? And the second question would be, has babysitting Roman and Paul Walters really helped you understand the youth mind well enough to where you feel comfortable mentoring youth players?
I mean, I feel like there's way more babysitting that goes on outside the goalkeeper room. Like we have, for as far as young players go, like they are as well adjusted and like can hold a conversation as much as like anyone, which I really appreciate as an older guy. So there's not a ton of babysitting there. Like Roman, especially, he's so buttoned up. He's got his shit together. And he has since the moment he got here. And the moment he walked in the door, first time I saw him train, I was like, that's a good kid. That's a good goalkeeper. And you could just tell right away with him, especially. But yeah, what was the first part of your question? I got a little sidetracked there.
No, it's all right. I was just wondering if we were also going to pick up on the fact that Roman has the most audacious music taste known to mankind that doesn't make sense to anyone over the age of 18. But
yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll put my music on in the gym and I know he's like, come on, let's get some Yeet or whatever he listens to on. And it's not for me, man. It's a generational thing, I think.
Yeah, he was asking when you made your mind up that, you wanted to continue your career in the coaching direction specifically.
Yeah. So probably, I mean, very early on in my playing career when, the MLS minimum salary was, barely a living wage. Honestly, I needed to coach to supplement my income. And that's kind of how I got into it. I remember, playing for the Fire in Chicago and carpooling with some of my buddies, like an hour almost up all the way up to Wisconsin to go and coach for this club that the Fire had a connection with, just so I could have some, cash to go out on the weekends or buy myself a nice meal. But that's kind of where it started. And once I moved back to Atlanta, I got really immersed with the goalkeeper coaching, just because I had a lot of doors that were open to me, having been a youth player there. And it was amazing. I was a director of goalkeeping for a club like in the neighborhood that I lived in, and oversaw 50 to 75 goalkeepers and their development and their training and their, all of their plans. And I found that I liked that, but I also found that I'm not sure if that's what I want to do like full time when I'm done playing. I think at this point, I've done some coaching education this year, and I will be at a place where, I probably could coach if I wanted to. But I'm thinking I might want to take a step back from soccer for a little while and see if it calls me back. The last couple of years, I've gotten really involved with a startup that provides athlete mental health peer support. So I work as a peer support specialist for them, and they have contracts with, leagues all over the country and Canada, and even in other countries, but all different sports, all different kind of athletes, youth, collegiate, professional. And I found that I really love those conversations, those, tougher conversations. There's a mentorship aspect to it, which I really love. So I could see myself going in that direction as well, like maybe going back to school and trying to become a therapist or a counselor who, tries to carve out a niche within athletics. But I always see soccer being, a part of my life, whether it's coaching goalkeepers a night or two a week, or being a full-time coach. I would never rule that out. But at this point, like after having made the decision to hang up the gloves at the end of the season, I'm going to take some time with my family and kind of reevaluate like, what do I want to do? Because I've only really been doing this one thing, and it's been very clear that that's like, my passion and my mission and my purpose. And I don't really know what that is outside of soccer. And I think I'll need to do some soul searching to figure that out.
Did you talk to Mitch Hildebrand at all and find out that, it's not going to be in like mortgage loans?
Dude, Mitch has had such an amazing coaching career.
Yeah,
it's been so cool to watch him. Like I remember seeing him at St. Louis last year, and now it sucks for us, but winning the Supporters Shield with Philly, like being the first assistant on that in that club. Like he is a soccer guy. He loves the game. He does it for the right reason. He's an awesome guy. Y'all were really lucky to have him for the years that you did.
Did you ask him about living in Cincinnati before coming to the
Yeah,
the club?
I did. He was one of the first guys when he saw that I signed as a free agent that reached out to me, which, means a lot. I know that he probably would have wanted to stay here as long as he could, but it didn't work out. So the fact that he was still thinking about me in that way was much appreciated. But yeah, I mean, that's like a common trend, I think, in my career, is that the goalkeeper union is always like supporting each other. And we touched on it at the beginning of the call with the four of us, with Paul, with Nate, with the second team, even the academy goalkeepers. Like, I think it's everyone kind of understands how hard that position is, how thankless it is, how resilient you need to be a goalkeeper. So we all try to pick each other up when we fall down, or be the first to, give someone a pat on the back when they do something well or have success. And I've tried to, uphold that ideal while I've played.
Yeah. Well,
it's awesome. Well,
I don't have a good way to transition this, because we have a very important question we have to ask you. And, you're talking about, some lovely, beautiful ideas and player mental health. So I'll try to connect it with this. We've seen over our time as being soccer fans that there is a sort of universal language around the world of soccer, and that is the soccer players' love of Chipotle specifically. I am wondering, what is your go-to order for Chipotle?
I'm probably going to take some heat for this. I don't really like Chipotle that much. It's just like it rages war on the GI system. It's a lot of salt. Maybe I just have a delicate constitution. My wife likes to tell me that. But if I am going to get something from Chipotle, I'll get like a bowl with chicken and a tortilla on the side. And while I'm eating it, I'm like, this is good. Like, I'm enjoying this. But then as soon as it's over, it's like, I can't take my ring off anymore, and I'm in the bathroom all night, and it doesn't sit well with me. But yeah, I think probably a burrito with a side of toilet paper.
Yeah.
No notes.
We'll note that.
Yeah, make sure that makes the cut. Yeah.
You've been incredibly generous with your time this afternoon. I know it's your off day, and we really appreciate you joining us on here. We are in the middle of the playoffs right now, MLS Cup playoffs presented by Audi. I think we're legally required to say that every time we describe them, as discussed by the Post-Cincy. Big win for the team this past Monday, heading to Columbus this Sunday to potentially wrap the playoff series up in advance. Just generally speaking, what are the vibes like around the facility, around the team right now as we march forward in the playoffs?
Yeah, vibes are high, but we're not getting carried away. We still have a lot of work to do to get to where we want to be, which is, playing in the last game of the season, which is MLS Cup. And it's going to take, every player locking in for every single day of this final stretch. And I think guys are willing to do that. And I was super encouraged by our performance on Monday. I thought we looked like a team. We looked organized. We looked dangerous. And we looked solid, and I'm expecting us to carry that on to an away game, which is an area where we've actually thrived this year. We've been very good on the road, and hopefully we can keep that going. But yeah, Columbus is never going to give up. They know how to play. They're committed to it. They're going to keep coming at you. So this is not the time to take your foot on the gas. But yeah, guys are confident. But not to the point where we're getting complacent. It's more so like, all right, this is where we need to be. We've now proven ourselves that, we can compete with this team, and now it's time to, go there and take care of business again.
Yeah. Oh, well, that is great to hear on this side of things. We will be absolutely pulling for you all this Sunday, and yeah, man, really appreciate the time and want to say congratulations on a long, successful career. Like, this is really cool. We're really looking forward to seeing what you do in the next stage here.
Thanks a lot, guys. It's been a hell of a ride. I'm really fortunate that I got to spend the last couple of years of it here, because it's been an amazing experience.
Oh, and we're happy to have shared that with you. So thank you so much, man.
Yeah, anytime, guys. Nice to meet you.
right, and we are back. And again, huge thank you to Kann for coming on, especially on the day off. Like, we're annoying, so I appreciate that.
We have finally completed the goalkeeper's room, and not a moment too soon, because he will not be available to us next season.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? There may be some work cut out for us if certain decisions are made. We may have to scramble to get a couple more goalkeepers in, or they run it back with Roman, Evan, and Paul, and we just stick with the same trio. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. But no, a good conversation there. So that does take us on over to our Patreon questions. This is the questions that come to us via our Patreon page. You can help support the show financially with just $2 a month. You can give us a couple of bucks. It helps keep the show afloat. There's hosting costs and some software costs on how we manage to edit all this stuff. And that all helps keep it going. So I really appreciate that. I will throw this out there as well. If you did not know, if you subscribe on the Patreon, you can sign up for an annual membership and you get a couple of months off if you do that. So you can save a couple of bucks and you don't have like this weird $2 charge hitting your credit card every month. So if you're interested in that, you can do that. Try to help you out there a little bit. So with that, we have a couple of October questions. This one comes to us from Shannon, who says, my husband, Dan, who is very much tech avoidant, bought new earbuds just to listen to the Cincy Postcast as he drives for work. His truck isn't tech savvy enough to connect his phone, and he has some hearing loss from former career as a sprint car mechanic. Knowing that your adoring fans are spending money to hear you better twice a week, what else do you hope your listeners purchased to better the postcast experience?
I really hope they're not buying headphones to wear while they're driving.
No, you get the
pass
sound
through.
Pass through. You're fine.
You get the pass through. You're fine. It's not like he's wearing hopefully the Beats Pro headphones where like they're the complete over the head cans.
The Sony active noise cancelers.
Yeah, or it's just like, you're in your own little your own individualized soundscape, and no horns or shouting pedestrians can possibly pierce your veil.
What can you spend some money on, some hard-earned cash, to improve your podcast experience?
I have the answer to this question right now. You know what I hope you're spending your hard-earned cash on to improve your podcasting experience, and that is picking up a pack of delicious street side beer and just cracking one open as soon as the podcast starts. And given how long we ramble for, you might finish the entire 4-pack by the time you're done.
By the time you get to work.
Yeah.
Wait.
So yeah, headphones and an ice cold beer on the drive into work. It's what could possibly go wrong with this?
Yeah, they call it a real brick from Cat in a Hot Tin Roof situation. Starting a beer when the podcast starts and stopping when the podcast is over. We call that the brick.
Do a brick.
Grace, I hope the audio quality. Do we need to step our audio quality game up now that people are purchasing actual headphones to listen to us on?
Yeah,
I can't. I don't know how.
I don't know how either.
The only way we suggest you listen to this is with a $5 Chinese Bluetooth speaker. That's the appropriate place to listen.
Your FC Cincinnati season ticket member gift Bluetooth speakers.
That's the only approved listening device.
What people should do is people should get a bunch of like CB radios. And just have one person holding the microphone next to a Bluetooth speaker that's playing the podcast, and it just goes all out on like Channel 3 or whatever.
Yes. Oh my God.
We
Yes.
got the Patreon questions are going to start being like, I'm listening to you guys from the Flying J on Interstate 71.
Yeah, everybody asks questions with their call signs.
Yeah, we're gonna start getting postcast shirts inside the Love's truck stop right there next to the I Heart Jesus and He Is Risen gear.
Some guy learned English by sitting next to me at the truck stop while I listened to it while waiting for the shower.
Actually, I don't know that I want you listening to this podcast on headphones. I want you listening to it on speakerphone, like in public, so that people will ask you, what is that fascinating content you're consuming? And you can be like, have you not heard of the Cincy Postcast right here?
I want to show up. I know there's some Metro bus riders I want to show up in a viral video where somebody gets yelled at or scolded for listening to their phone audio without headphones on the bus, and what you hear is and then this Superman was stronger than that Superman.
No, what I really want, you say viral videos on the bus.
Oh no.
I want all future viral videos.
Stop.
No, I want all future viral videos in Cincinnati. Instead of somebody shouting World Star in the background, I want them to shout the Post Cincy in the background.
Post Cincy.
Cincy Postcast. Cincy Postcast. Cincy Postcast.
I want Corey Bowman sharing videos every day where someone is shouting "fuck Columbus" or
listen to the Post Cincy.
in the 11.
Oh my God. I don't.
Instead of shouting, "Am I being detained?" It's listen to the Cincy Postcast. Like and subscribe.
Officer, am I being forced to listen to the Cincy Postcast?
I think Dan should do a podcast about his former career.
Yeah.
I bet he's got some stories to tell.
Sprint car mechanic? That sounds way more interesting than anything we've ever done.
Your $2 Patreon requires you to come on as a guest in the off season and just talk a little bit about your job.
Don't worry about the hearing loss. You can just ramble. We don't care.
We can hear. That's all that matters right now.
I don't know what you could, just to genuinely answer the question, I don't know what you could spend money on to improve a podcast experience other than headphones. That makes sense.
Do you have $50,000 so we can hire a beat writer?
Yes, something like that would be cool.
Yeah. Can you help us acquire a certain trademark so that we can expand our website and online presence?
Yeah, that could be fun.
No, you know what you can use your money for is you can buy one of your friends that doesn't listen to this show a subscription to the Cincy Postcast. And guess what? It's free. All you have to do is just click that subscribe button for your friend. Maybe he leaves his phone sitting out, it's unlocked. We used to back in the day.
That's the YouTube.
We would use when somebody leave their phone and didn't have a password on it, we would unlock the phone and change the language to Chinese or Japanese, something like that.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, if somebody leaves a phone unattended, just go ahead and subscribe them to the Postcast for them. It's a gift and a prank at the same time.
Right. The best things in life are free, and so are the worst.
Yeah. We've, I may have mentioned this before, but the worst thing you could do to somebody, especially back when people were using Facebook more, is if you found somebody's account unlocked, is to go find a coworker of theirs and just scroll back in that coworker's photos a couple of years and just like a random photo. It's the meanest thing you could do because they'll never know that they did it, but the coworker will.
And you get the text message why are you liking photos of me when I was in high school?
That's tough. That's tough to come back from.
That's unhinged.
No, but this does remind me, though, Chief, of our idea that we had at one point, which was to release a special episode as either a cassette or a CD or a vinyl, some sort of physical media episode. So maybe the answer to this is a CD player or a cassette player or something. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. James St. John asks, the Cincinnati Reds scored 9 runs this postseason. Do we think FC Cincinnati will be able to match that total with 9 or more goals this postseason?
So 5 or 6 games, right?
Yeah.
That would be a goal and a half per game. If it's 6 games, or it'd be 1.6 goals per game, 1.8 goals per game. If it's 5 games,
it's not really our thing, man.
Yeah,
I
I don't
normal
think-
1-0 team.
I don't think we get 9. Even if we win MLS Cup, I don't think we get 9.
So I honestly think that if this team wins MLS Cup, it's going to win MLS Cup scoring exactly what
5 or
goals,
6 goals. Yes.
5 goals and conceding 0. It will have a plus 5 goal differential. It will win a series of 1-0 wins.
Oof. Now, Chief, there's a bonus question here for you, and I like this one a lot. Who advances further in the postseason, FC Cincinnati or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
FC Cincinnati?
Ooh.
Mostly because we don't have to play the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, the loss to the Lions really
took a little wind out of the sails. We're very hurt. It's okay. In Baker Mayfield, we trust.
Yeah, I buy it. Now, before I ask our last question here, we have an update from Bromansky, who asked originally about the Foxy Shazam Unstoppable.
Yes, we remain in favor. Strongly.
Bromansky commented, "Thanks for the suggestion about DJ Primetime. I reached out on Insta, and he said he would add it to the playlist."
All right.
all right, stay woke.
Stay woke.
Mission accomplished? Let's see what happens.
That's
Yeah.
not quite mission accomplished yet. We need to get it into like the official
Yeah.
festivities in some way.
If we can get it like second after Mr. Brightside and then eventually supplant Mr. Brightside, I think that's sort of the order of operations here.
Look, folks, stay tuned because I think things are happening with Unstoppable.
Would you say it's unstoppable?
About to say, dare I say?
It's too early to tell.
All right, the last one comes from Sarah Gorman, D&D GM extraordinaire.
Got to do another one of those in the off season. We gotta do that. Maybe instead of doing the Christmas episode, maybe we do a D&D Christmas episode. Maybe we see if she can cook something up for us.
I like this a lot. Like a Christmas D&D episode would be really
You still
funny.
play that like nice like Christmas music in the background, perhaps. Like
Yeah.
it was very. My wife thought that was very pleasant listening to that.
Yeah. There's some nice royalty-free music out there that was very
Love that.
fun to
Love
acquire.
that for us.
Yeah.
Sarah asks, we have Brenner and Powell. What is your starting
Where?
11?
Let them go.
We have them.
This is the kind of
$2
message
million
you
you
this is
need
the kind
to
of
Brenner.
This is just the kind of message you get where they've cut out individual letters from a magazine.
Yes. That way the handwriting experts can't get you.
Yeah, but the glue experts, when you touched and pasted all the letters down, that's where the problem starts.
You're leaving your fingerprints all over it. What is your starting 11 of guys who left as disappointments or on bad terms that could come back as heroes the second time? This is a really fun question.
No center backs.
Is Tommy Heineman still playing soccer?
No, he's union president of some team.
I think the USL Players Union.
I think that's it.
President,
I think that's
right?
it.
I mean, he'd come back for dinner on good terms, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I think you could get Calvin Harris to come back. He's been fairly productive for Colorado, at least starting caliber player.
Corey Baird would come back.
Corey Baird could
Did he
come
leave
back.
in bad terms? They kind of.
As a disappointment, though.
Oh, a disappointment.
I
Okay.
think, yeah, disappointment or bad terms. I mean, obviously, a Lucho reunion as the core of whatever this midfield is would be exciting.
I mean, Kendall Watson, he's done that. He isn't qualified.
He wasn't disappointing. It's just the team sucked around him.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
Lucho at the 10.
Yeah. Alan Cruz is still playing if you need a box-to-box midfielder. That was disappointing. He was a DP.
Alan Cruz at box to box.
Fernando Adi's retired, right?
Yes, he's
So
coaching now.
he's very high up on the disappointing list.
He is.
We got
Jurgen
forwards.
Locadia. What about him coming back? He's still playing in like the 5th division somewhere, right?
Would you rather Jurgen Locadia right now or Joe Aquini right now?
See, here's my problem is that like if you told me Jurgen Locadia was available, like my toxic trait is that I still think Jurgen Locadia's got a couple goals in him in MLS.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. I'm just never going to I am never going to stop believing in Jurgen Locadia. Like there was something there, unfinished business. I think.
You know who is probably still playing?
If you say Franco Kovacic, I'm going to jump through the screen.
He is still playing.
He is still playing.
That was a money laundering operation. We're all in agreement on that, right?
Yeah,
like there was something
absolutely.
illegal. He was like a CIA plant.
I got something for you here. Russell Cicerone. He's had a
Never on the MLS team.
no, but he was on FC Cincinnati.
That's true.
Did it say MLS?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It did not. I'm bringing Russell Cicerone in because I think it was disappointing he didn't get to come with us to MLS. He's had a very good career.
The only center back that qualifies, I think, is Awaziem, and only in the sense of it was disappointing that he was here so short.
I would agree. Like he's probably the only real center back. Tom Pettersson as a disappointment?
I guess he just won the Swedish league. He was a disappointment.
That's a pretty good mark on the resume.
I think he was captain over there too. So there you go. You go Pettersson, you go Awaziem, you go Barriel on the left. We get to keep Powell on the right.
Yeah, we get Powell because he's a part of this. And
he's
therefore
chaos.
Brenner is up
and
top.
therefore Brenner is up top.
Yeah.
All right,
so
we made the playoffs.
I got a name for you in the midfield.
Ben Lunt. Sorry,
Because
goalie.
Ben Lunt as goalie's great.
I don't think he's a bad person,
Okay.
but it was bad
The
when
rest
he
of the
was here.
people we think are bad people.
yeah, right.
Obviously, if you haven't been mentioned, you're a bad person.
If we haven't
else
said
got
we don't
this.
think you're a bad person, this goes for Nick Hagelin too.
Yeah. My man is still playing soccer at Cape Town City.
No.
Kamohilo Makocho.
No.
Yeah, he'd come back.
He can come back.
Sure.
Yeah, he's probably making like
25,
much less
30
than
bucks
he
a
was
game.
making. So I think the only goalkeeper shout of guys who like left on bad terms, still playing,
Kenneth Vermeer.
is Ben Lunt,
Ben Lund
who
is
is
the
still
answer.
on St. Louis's roster, and his option was picked up, I believe.
Yeah, like he started a handful of games. He seems fine.
He's the only person who's ever been on the roster, and despite being available to us when we were trotting out the likes of Cody Cropper and Kenneth Vermeer, we didn't use him one time. Is Ben Lunt.
Yeah. Is Spencer Ritchie still bouncing around the league?
No, he's bouncing around the Seattle real estate market.
That's it. Oh my God, no, Grayson. The disclaimer on this one, but not the disclaimer on the other ones, reminded me of this. Watching the World Series, and there was an advertisement for some pharmaceutical that I swear to God mentioned, "Don't use street drugs when using this drug," and then that made me think, I've never heard that
use
before.
street drugs for the rest of the drugs.
I didn't know that was okay.
Yeah, it reminds me of the best like ad I've seen for like kind of like a crappy restaurant was when I was in when I was in Cambodia, and you walk by like all these little restaurants, and there was one with a sign on the outside that said "No dog, no cat, no rat." And I was like, I guess all the rest of them have dog, cat, and rat.
Yeah, right.
Maybe on the same buffet line. Who knows? Can I get all three?
Yeah. I think as an XKCD.
You know, if you ask for a mix of dog, cat, and rat, you know they're going to give you more than like one serving. They're not just going to give you 1/3, 1/3,
the
1/3.
X meat is off the charts.
Right. It's actually a life hack when you build your bowl. If you ask for 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, they give you more.
Yeah.
How many split portions of meat can you ask Chipotle before they tell you no? Can I get 1/5 carnitas, 1/5 steak, 1/5? They're just like, shut up. You only get to pick 2.
Like they have the carnivore bowl where it's just no beans, no rice. It's just nothing but just all of the meat piled on with salsa.
I swear to God, I saw these young kids do this in front of me one time. They got a Chipotle bowl, but if it's only 3 ingredients, it's like classified as something else. So they got rice, chicken, and cheese. Now it's all they got. It was this giant serving of this, but it was apparently like it's discounted. You don't pay full price if you just get 3 ingredients.
It's the picky eater special.
Yeah, right. It really was like these guys were like high school, maybe college age, but they were certainly eating like toddlers. Like that's what was happening.
We've all been there in college, like min-maxing the your dollar has to go further a little bit.
So there you go. That's all the questions with a follow-up from the Patreon. If you did not ask a question, you can still ask one. There's still technically 2 days left in October. So get your questions in. Otherwise, you've wasted $2 whole.
And in this economy, how dare you?
Oh, that's tough to do. So with that, Chief, I think this is a wrap.
It's a wrap. Look forward to seeing some of you, hopefully many of you coming out for the pre-show at Streetside, and hopefully a celebratory Sunday night as the FC goes forward. Do we need to predict this?
Are you going to predict it at the live show?
We're going to do that at the live show. We're going to do the whole sort of preview prediction at the live show. So if you're looking for that, you got to come out to Streetside, because I don't know that we'll publish that episode.
Right.
Because it won't really matter.
So the only prediction you're getting right now is fuck Columbus.
The Cincy Postcast is a production of The Post Cincy. You can check us out online at thepostcincy.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter and Blue Sky, though, you'll find we're a little more active than the other places. We're also on YouTube, where you can listen to this episode if you aren't listening to it already. We are also putting up video content semi-regularly, including the Away Days series. We want to give a huge thank you to Jim Trace and the Makers for providing the music for this episode. They are a lovely band, and you can find more information out about them in the description of this episode. And if you happen to enjoy what you just heard, can I please ask that you like us, that you rate us on whatever app you're listening to, and maybe more importantly than all of that, share this episode with a friend. When it comes up at work, you're talking about FC Cincinnati, I say, hey, I listened to an FC Cincinnati podcast. I think you guys will like it. It would really, really help us out. Nothing helps a podcast travel more than a good recommendation from a friend, family member. That would be awesome. When it comes to the sorting algorithms that control our lives, a 5-star review would be much appreciated. Also, leaving a sort of written review weirdly does more than that. That's how the algorithms work. So maybe say a nice or a mean thing, whatever, just as long as you give us 5 stars, that'll really, really, really help us out. And if you are looking for more MLS content, check out our other podcast, The World's Gam. Again, a link will be in the description of this episode. That is where we touch on league-wide storylines and news, and we talk about other games and a couple other teams in there as well. I think you will enjoy it if you are just dipping your toes into Major League Soccer. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors. A even bigger thank you to all of our patrons over at Patreon. But maybe most importantly, thank you for listening to this episode.